In the ghostly echoes of the ghost market, where the embers of a haunted past still flicker, Shani's encounter with the woman with haunting blue eyes will send shivers down your spine. Venture into the mysterious realms of a forsaken complex, where the line between the living and the supernatural blurs, and the tale of Shani unfolds, leaving you on the edge of a chilling enigma. Shani, a young man in search of employment, had come to the city's large market called Ghost Market. The market used to be even larger until a few years ago, but due to some conflicts, the main complex of the market was set on fire. Many people lost their lives in the incident, and the homes of several others were destroyed. Now, the once thriving complex stood desolate, with some people considering using the empty building for various purposes. However, those who attempted to live there couldn't stay for more than 2 days. They claimed that even now, flames could be felt from the walls, and the cries of people and the sound of fire could still be heard. The building had acquired the name Ghost Market, and people had stopped passing through that area. Shani found work in a clothing store near the complex. During the scorching afternoon, once Kashi, the owner of the store, was resting in his shop. At that moment, a beautiful woman in a red sari entered the shop and sat in front of Kashi without uttering a word. Shani was surprised to see that the woman didn't speak, but Kashi was showing her numerous pieces of clothing. Shani couldn't understand what was happening, and after a while, the woman got up without saying anything and started to leave the shop. Kashi, without saying a word, followed her. Shani shouted loudly behind Kashi, but it had no effect. This time, when Shani called Kashi loudly, the woman turned around and Shani's condition worsened. Suddenly, the color of her eyes changed from green to deep blue. A shiver ran down Shani's spine as he struggled to comprehend the surreal events. Upon seeing this, Shani sat down there. Shani couldn't leave the shop alone, so he didn't go outside. After a short while, many people started running away from the shop. A shopkeeper came to Shani's store and said that Kashi was lying unconscious outside the complex. Upon regaining consciousness, Kashi couldn't remember anything. He kept repeating that there was a fire again in the complex. However, the complex was now deserted and nothing unusual was happening there. But Shani's fear was intensifying. Despite his efforts, he couldn't forget the girl with the blue eyes. The next day, Shani saw the same woman passing by the shop. Shani was scared, but he wanted to know more about her. He gathered courage and left the shop without informing Kashi. Shani saw that the woman was heading towards the complex, so he started following her. Suddenly, the woman disappeared from Shani's eyes. Shani thought that she might have entered the complex, but Shani wanted to know more about the woman. Shani began taking steps towards the complex door. All around, there were only dark walls. They weren't gleaming in the daylight. The complex was in a separate darkness, and burnt walls revealed how the flames had engulfed them. Shani recalled the headlines from the newspapers about 12 families used to live there, but all perished in the fire. Nevertheless, Shani, driven by determination, entered the complex. The walls of the complex screamed, recounting the fiery night's events. Suddenly, Shani began to feel an intense heat, not like normal weather, but as if someone was playing with fire around him. He couldn't move forward, and he stopped at a place, placing his hand on the wall for support. But in the next moment, a loud scream escaped his mouth as he saw his hand had burned. The heat was so intense, as if the fire was still enveloping him. Shawnee was about to lose consciousness when he saw the woman in the red saree on the balcony of the complex. Shawnee ran towards her to catch that woman, but as he moved forward, screams echoed from all around. Shawnee looked around, but there was no one. Shawnee gathered courage and reached a room, where he closed the door to avoid hearing any screams. The room was getting hotter, and when Shawnee tried to open the window to the room, it caught fire. In a short while, the room was filled with smoke, and Shawnee's screams echoed throughout the room. Shawnee's breaths were getting shallow when suddenly the door of the room opened. There, in front of him, stood the woman with blue eyes and a beautiful face. Shawnee started calling for help, but anger was evident in the woman's eyes. It seemed as if she wanted to take revenge on Shawnee. Shawnee's eyes began to close, and he felt dizzy as he fainted. When he regained consciousness, he found himself lying in the middle of the complex. He got up and immediately started running out. He told people everything, but no one believed him, and no one had seen that woman in the security camera footage. One day, an elderly man told Shawnee that a woman with blue eyes used to live in the same complex, and Kashi's shop was actually her shop. But she turned into ashes in the fire. Hearing this, Shawnee was shocked. He immediately left the city, and since then, he never saw that woman again. However, the image of the woman with blue eyes and the burning walls of the complex would perhaps never leave his mind. If you found yourself on the edge of your seat, shivers racing down your spine, remember to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for more bone-chilling tales, paranormal encounters, and midnight mysteries. Until next time, may your nights be restless and your dreams haunted. Dare to face the darkness with us on HorrorTube, where nightmares come to life.